How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with another review. A review I've been looking to do for quite some time. This is 2014 North Coast Old Stock Cellar Reserve Rye Barrel. Okay, little backstory. If you've watched my reviews, decent portion of them, you will be well versed on my love affair with Old Stock. One of my favorite beers ever. Just been in love with that beer since I had it for the first time many moons ago. About 2005 they started to come out with the Barrel Age series. 2005, way before all these other places started doing barrel age stuff all over the place. They did a barrel age version of their Old Stock in brandy barrels. Had it back then, don't remember much about it. I know it was good, but memory sometimes. Fast forward 2009, they did bourbon barrel age version of Old Stock. D-fucking-licious. Bonkers good. That sucker right there. 2011, back to brandy barrel. The best one of all of them that I've had so far. Bought many of them, drank many of them. Stellar, world-class, awesome stuff. 2013, back to the bourbon barrels. Very nice beers. Need a little bit of time. Then I started doing variants. This is 2014. I'm pretty sure this was packaged and released mid to late 2015. So even if it's 2014, I think that's when they put it into the barrels, not when it came out of the barrels. Could be wrong, but I don't think I am. But popped up, like I said, middle of 2015. This is the March 2016. So it's been around, out and floating about for several months, and I just can't find it. For some reason, it doesn't hit my area at all. Went up on a little beer kind of journey, not too far away from me, out in the upstate New York, and lo and behold, this is sitting on a shelf at a local bottle shop. And after I did a short little kind of dance, I picked one up and brought it home. And oddly enough, it's been like 5 days since I picked this up and I still haven't drank it. So that's kind of a record for me when things get me all kind of hot and bothered in the man region. So yeah, let's dive in. Long-winded intro. As far as what it says on the bottle, Old Stock Ale 2014 Cellar Reserve, aged in rye whiskey barrels. Government warning stuff. Contains alcohol. No shit. I think it's a California thing. On the side here we have Old Stock Cellar Reserve, a small batch, limited release that has been aged in rye whiskey barrels. The aging process gives this world-class beer an added layer of complexity, a memorable drink that should be enjoyed, a completely unique offering. Reading butchering that one. Recommended serving temperature, 60 degrees. I love that. Love that. So many people drink beers, not even just cold, but too cold. This is, when I pulled it out of my beer fridge thermometer said 56. So for me, that's cash money. 13.75% alcohol by volume, and that'd be that. It looks like all the other Old Stock labels and the Cellar Reserve labels, except they are coding this one green for rye. Seems to be the color that people code for that, so there you go. Let's crack into this sucker and see what she has to offer. You have no idea how excited I am. I like rye whiskey barrel aged stuff. Usually not full on. I like a blend. I don't know if they blended this or is this straight up, but when it comes to barreling for North Coast, I'm not going to screw around with that. I pulled my forearm the other day, working, lifting shit, doing manly stuff. So I don't want to try to yank it out of there. Give this old wine key, make it do its fucking job. There we go. Look at that fucking pop smoke flying out of there. Let's get a first look. Usually rich. Wow, way lighter than I expected. Way lighter than I expected. Your Old Stocks, the barrel age ones up to this point. Actually, I shouldn't say that. 2011, 2013, 2005, all poured very dark. Their 2009 came out a bit lighter, a bit more effervescent, a bit more carbonated, closer to this one. Not that it's an uber light beer, but it poured a little bit lighter than I expected. Two Fingers, the definition of rocky head. You can see it kind of just whittling away now, explosively kind of falling onto itself. Yeah, in this one bubble here, I don't know if you can see it, I could see about a good half-inch in, it just burst. But I can see a good half-inch into the head, so I mean, it's literally the textbook definition of rocky. So yeah. Legs, not for days, but for weeks and maybe years. Color-wise, I swirled it the other day. It was this beautiful kind of tornado-like carbonation. Not explosive, but not gentle. It's somewhere in the middle. Kind of, it's weird because you got that little subtle agitator in the bottom of this glass, so you're getting this kind of line, about a dime width line of carbonation kind of coming up, but then you have all this secondary carbonation kind of filtering up through the bottom too. Very small particulates floating around in there. Looks nice. Let's see what she smells like. Okay. Well, it's not even fair. Okay. How do I explain this? Okay, you know what a whopper is? A malted malt ball. Take a malted malt ball. Whoppers have an empty center to that. But it's like that kind of chocolatey kind of coating. And you have that malted center, and then it's hollow. Well, inside that hollowed center, what I want you to do is wrap a raisin and fucking sugar daddy and put that inside that. And that's what this is. You're getting that sweet rye whiskey. Rye whiskey for me usually gets a little bit more spicy as opposed to sweet. The bourbon's more of your cherry and vanilla. While I'm getting cherry out of this, I'm getting cherry and just like I don't want to say generic spiciness, but that's all I have for you right now. Combined with that super caramel malt ball, raisinette covered deliciousness. Yeah. It just smells like an aged beer. It smells like an aged old ale. It's in the vein of ad nauseum, talked about it in the past. Your Old Stocks, your Thomas Hardy's, your J.W. Lee's. Very in line with that as far as vibe. And it just smells like the quintessential dessert beer. There is a decent amount of whiskey nose to it. But the beer itself, if you ever smelled, a couple-year-old Old Stock, you're still getting a lot of those kind of old ale, that toffee caramel kind of notes out of it too. So it smells like a nice blend between the two. It doesn't smell like one's overpowering the other. There's gigantic beers in general, you know what I mean? These are 13.75. I think the old ones up there are usually around 11.8 to 12%. So they're still really big beers. So, yeah, she looks awesome. She smells awesome. See if she tastes the part. Cheers. It's delicious. It's fucking delicious. It's caramel, man. It's liquid. It's liquid sugar daddy wrapped in a raisin is what it is. I usually like that chocolate raisinettiness. More so than that sugar daddy raisinettiness. But this is just working for me. Caramel, toffee, malt, rich, sweet, malted, malt bally kind of vibes. The whiskey is not overpowering. It's a big beer. You can tell it has some oomph to it, but I'm not getting any really heat to it. I'm more getting that there's zero heat to it, which is bizarrely bonkers. I'm getting that evaporative alcohol. I'm getting the vapors. That typically I attribute to a lot of like who does it really well. Fucking Avery in their like their Demon series, especially the Sam Ale. Those beers, I tend to deliver this kind of alcoholic vapor in their beers that delivers more taste, and that's kind of what I'm getting in this. Body wise, I wish it'd be a little bit thicker. Kind of nitpicking at this point, but you're gonna talk about it. What I want in this beer is just a slight bigger body to it, which I got out of the 11, which was kind of my fault with the 2013, the Bourbon Barrel one. I thought it was a little bit thinner too. 2011 was just spot on, but this is, again, kind of splitting hairs at this point, just kind of, just being picky. This is like, to me, this is a sessionable carbonated cognac. That's what I attribute this to. If someone was like, what would be the easiest thing to kind of relate this to? If you could carbonate cognac and you were to drop the ABV down to about like 10%. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting off it. But it has that old the oldness there. It's like where cognacs, you know what I mean, and scotches and things like that usually need 40, 50, 60 years to really develop this kind of flavoring. You know, with this beer being a couple years old in a whiskey barrel, you're kind of cutting time off of that and getting those flavors that you would get without having to wait 50 or 60 years. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better old ales I've had as of late? Yes. Is one of the better barrel-aged beers I've had as of late? Yes. Just sneaking in the top 5. I usually have that outside looking in. This is in there, but there's some other ones that are pretty damn close to this and just as good as this. So I can't say this is a home run beer like I did with the 2011 where I just fawned over it like fucking 24/7. But it's still absolutely fantastic. Value and availability. This is where it kind of jumps the shark a little bit. Availability, I couldn't find it, you know, for several months until I kind of randomly stumbled across it at a random bottle shop. So that kind of sucks. Your mileage may vary in your area, but for me, northeastern Pennsylvania, these have been usually few and far between. Even it's other bottles, you know, they come in and then disappear. So that's that. Value, 27 American dollars for a 500 milliliter, right? Is it even 500? Okay, it's a 500 milliliter bottle. It's not a 750. It kind of has a 750 shape. It's not. It's a 500 milliliter bottle. $27. Not a fan of that. I get it with the taste and the whole nine. I get it. I do. But this should be sub 20. It should be. And that's the biggest knock I'll ever have in this beer. Here's the thing, though. Would I ever buy it again? Fuck yeah, I would. So, hey, if people are going to buy it, if there's a market for it, the price isn't wrong. So, the price is right, bitch. So yeah, there you go. And if you like what we like this, if you like cognac and I wish it was in a beer form, if you like Thomas Hardy and old stocks and fucking old ales, real old ales like that, English style old ales, you'll like it. If you like rye whiskey barrel aged stuff, not that it's super rye like, it's just more of a barreled spirit vibe more than just straight up rye whiskey. But if you like old ales, if you like barrel aged stuff, if you like well made beers, and if you like sugar daddies and raisinets and malt balls, you'll like this motherfucker. So there you go, another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you did or you didn't or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below and like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. If you want to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers in all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a beautiful aged beer. Let's just go aged beer. Aged old ale right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.